angel in a dress. You come to save me from distress. Stay the weak, distract me from my problems. The war inside my head make me forget I'm such a mess. I know it's selfish, but the only thing I want, oxytocin, high on hoping that the way you love me can fix how I hate myself. Overdosing on emotion, but when the chemical love wears off, I'm just as broken. You're my oxytocin. I'm on the brink of my self-deprecation. I'm hanging from the precipice of empty promises. To myself, I can't help it, still nothing has changed. I need your therapy, euphoric chemistry to fix my brain. Oxytocin, high on hoping that the way that you love me can fix how I hate myself. Overdosing on emotion, but when the chemical love wears off, I'm just as broken. You're my oxytocin, and I'm overdosing. You're my oxytocin. I put the rescue all on you. As we lay in your driveway and look at the stars with your head on my shoulder, and I pull you close. As we lay in your driveway like we're chasing cars, with your head on my shoulder, and I pull you closer. I know it's selfish, but the only thing I want, oxytocin, high on hoping that the way that you love me can fix how I hate myself. Overdosing on emotion, but when the chemical love wears off, I'm just as broken. You're my oxytocin. I'm on the brink of my self-deprecation. I'm hanging from the precipice of empty promises. To myself, I can't help it, still nothing has changed. I need your therapy, euphoric chemistry to fix my brain. Oxytocin, high on hoping that the way that you love me can fix how I hate myself. Overdosing on emotion, but when the chemical love wears off, I'm just as broken. You're my oxytocin, and I'm overdosing. You're my oxytocin. I put the rescue all on you. As we lay in your driveway and look at the stars, with your head on my shoulder, and I pull you close. As we lay in your driveway like we're chasing cars, with your head on my shoulder, and I pull you closer. I know it's selfish, but the only thing I want, oxytocin, high on hoping that the way that you love me can fix how I hate myself.
Lazy Sunday mornings, hiding under covers. I don't mind staying in with you. Play your favorite movie, laying right beside me. I don't mind when it's just us two. That corner coffee shop we like to go. Late night walks with you to take me home. With you I never feel alone.
These little songs make me glad to call you mine. And you have got my head in the clouds. Oh,
1, 2, 3.
all that I need is your body next to me on rainy days. Just need your company, don't need too much. Just your simple love and it's everything. The simple joy of hearing your voice every morning. I wake to a kiss on my face, so I don't need too much. Just your simple love and it's everything. Walking to the market, strolling hand in hand, exchanging letters when you're
뭐야? 가위가위뽀. 묵찌빠요. 아 제발요. 무게무게묵. 가위바위보. 아 이건 아니다. 솔직히 묵찌빠.
아미분들은 지금 저희가 앞에 계실 거라고 항상 생각을 하면서 했기 때문에 뭔가 그게 좀 더 기적같고
to the heavens above, where we fall in love.
진씨?
네?
진씨?
네?
그때 그 순간이 더 원했던 이유가 있나요?
아무래도 우리 다 같이 너무 열심히 준비하지 않았습니까?
All I need is you. Make me fly to the clouds. 1, 2, 3. All that I need is your body next to me on rainy days. Just need your company, don't need too much. Just your simple love and it's everything. The simple joy of hearing your voice every morning. I wake to a kiss on my face, so I don't need too much. Just your simple love and it's everything.
나 낮잠 잤어요. 낮잠 자고 하트요? 안 해.
Walking to the market, strolling hand in hand, exchanging letters when you're away. Don't need any effort when we are together. We always have fun throughout the day. I'll do anything to get your attention. When you say you love me, I seem to listen to the heavens above. When we fall in love,
보여주네.
I don't know what I would do
나오더라고.
because all
대화하다가 바로
I need,
침을 내용새 닦잖아.
all I need.
딸기 즙과 침이 혼합된 걸 내용새 닦잖아.
Make me fly to the clouds. 1, 2, 3. All that I need is your body next
왜 지치게 만드니, 태영아? 태영이 오늘 스타일이 살짝 이정형 동무 같다.
everything. The simple joy.
우리는 함께 있다를 알고 계시면 좋을 것 같습니다.
왜 이렇게 빨개졌어요?
많은 사람들이 같이
So I don't need too much. Just your simple love and it's everything. Can't imagine.
근데 제가 보기에는 남준이 형이랑 정국이는 패자부활전 올라갈 명분이 있는데 이 형은
Cause with you I feel at home. Who knows how far we go? Don't you know that all that I need is your body?
봄날이란 노래를 하는데 네, 오늘 라이프고 또
에헤 아니잖아요.
The simple joy of hearing your voice every morning. I wake to a kiss on my face, so I don't need too much. Just your simple love and say, please.
근데 저는 겨울을 제일 좋아하고요. 겨울에는 일단은 크리스마스 트리를 무조건 집에다 두고
Walking to the market, strolling hand in hand, exchanging letters when you're away.
사실 지금은 시간이 너무 빨라요. 네. 여러분 사실 처음 말씀드리면 지금 서울은 36도입니다. 네?
그러니까 40도입니다. 저는 여름이 너무 그래도 여름이 낫지. 여름이 낫지. 이거 원래 촬영이란 게
To ascend to the heavens above, where we fall in love. I don't know what I would do without you, because all I need is you. Make me fly to the clouds. 1, 2, 3.
현대장 월대 평일에 있네. 우영 밤에 나 시팅하네 나한테.
형님 이거 이렇게 해서 우리가 전화해서
Loving it's everything.
The simple joy of hearing your voice every morning. I wake to a
진짜
kiss
바로 왔네?
on my
야, 이 형
face,
대단하구만. 필요할까봐 초장 들고 왔는데 괜찮니?
초장이 왜 필요해요? 이제 오늘 4번 왔어요 총.
누구야? JK. 부인이 안 씻었는데?
밥 먹고 왔어요.
밥 먹어서?
I find myself that I'm still I used to do my damn thing, waking up in and out of strangers' bed.
나 여기 게스트인데.
But now I
나
know
내 방이야,
I'm the
형.
one who
오케이, 그럼 이거
always
들고
been
바로
with
또
you.
라이브 하실래요?
And all we gotta do, oh baby, as long as I can serve you with my love, as long as I can turn into real beast mode, make a fresh love all night, just like the first time. As long as I can serve you with extra love, and I with it all the night. Always want you some more. I used to wake up smelling like dumpster, ketchup stain on my new shirt, slice them all, chop them, grill them from now. Now I know I'm the one who always be with you, in and out without a menu, in and out we gotta do. As long as I can serve you, I can turn into real beast mode, make it first love all night, just like the first time. As long as I can serve you with extra love, and I with it all the night. I always want you some more. Is this the one I gotta keep it wrapped? The one I gotta keep it in my place? I was wondering you felt the same.
till my day comes. I'll be hitting you up all night. Is everything alright?
Yeah, tell me everything you want, my love. Though it feels rushed, I'm not making any instant love. It's just so
아래 찾아왔니? 안 찾아왔죠. 슈가 찾아왔니? 안 찾아왔죠. 비 찾아왔어? 안 찾아왔죠. 지민 찾아왔어? 지민이 형 왔어. 제이가 찾아왔어? 찾아왔죠. 비 찾아왔어? 안 찾아왔죠. 비 찾아왔어? 안 찾아왔죠.
making fresh love all night.
친형, 윤형, 그리고 신형.
We can give up
but I'll be fine. I'm just wasting my mind on you. And now it don't seem real, but I think that's for the best sometimes, 'cause I still get those butterflies, I do.
There's a sweet melody I try to ignore, and it sounds just like a knock on the door. I got too much time to waste and not enough to do what you got to. Got nothing left to prove. Will my love hit me up when I'm stuck in my head? Am I just out of luck? Flow me back to my bed. If only I didn't care, but that's not true. There's so many things that I wish I could say, but my voice just goes away. I don't know how you feel, and I don't know what you think, but I'll be fine wasting my mind on you. And it don't seem real, but I think that's for the best, 'cause I still get those butterflies, I do.
Why are you still in my dreams, cleaning my tears up? What does that mean? When you're not here, love, I lost my peace looking through our pictures. I can't believe it. They said give it time, and that I tried, but I can't seem to hide my love.
Used to be try hard, and now I don't try.
Try hard, it fights my mind. Why do these feelings keep love alive? Way past its bedtime. Just give me a clue. Do you want to talk again? What do I do to make you mine again?
Butterflies got me
Asking why don't we give this another try? I want to get it right with you. With you, darling, it's you. What can I
don't know how you feel, and I don't know what you think, but I'll be fine wasting my mind on you. And now it don't seem real, but I think that's for the best, 'cause I still get those butterflies to you. Yeah, you probably do.
나는 진짜 남자의 로망처럼 살아.
형 약간 신혼집 같아요.
나 신혼집 갔다고? 그 게임방이?
아니 뭔가 약간 그 하얗고 약간 그거. 그
게임방 약간 좀 밝지.
약간 신혼집.
There's a
형 약간 신혼집 같아요.
나 신혼집 갔다고? 그 게임방이?
It's just like a knock on the door. I got too much time to waste and not enough to do what you got to. Got nothing left to prove. Will my love hit me up when I'm stuck in my head? Am I just out of luck? Flow me back to my bed. If only I didn't care, but that's not true. There's so many things that I wish I could say, but my voice
지금 하는 내용 주제는 얼마나 나갈 수 있을까? 그게 제일 나갈 수 있을까? 그게 제일
what you think, but I'll be fine wasting my mind on you.
버터를 감자 들어가야 돼.
감자를 되네.
그러니까 그래서 감자를 빼달라고 했어요.
언제?
But I think that's for the best.
텔레파시 듣지?
오늘 텔레파시.
Lies I do.
텔레파시 DJ구나. 오늘 맛있는지 맛없는지 텔레파시를 얘기해줘.
cleaning my tears up? What does that mean? When you're not here, love, I lost my peace looking through our pictures. I can't believe it. They said give it time, and
왜안 줬어요?
너도 다 줬잖아.
너 기억이 없는 거 아니야?
너안
자, 오늘은 뭐 하나요?
Try hard, it fights my mind. Why do these feelings keep love alive? Way past his bedtime. Just give me a clue. Do you want to talk again? What do I do to make you mine again?
냉동실에 아이스크림이 있다.
아, 다 보이지.
잠시만, 이 형 저번에 집에 가서
아니야 이 형 추운 거 별로 안 좋아해서 아이스크림.
아니야, 이 형 아이스크림 줬었어.
Get it right with you, darling, it's you.
그러니까 지금 현재 냉장고에 아이스크림 있냐 없냐잖아요.
나 없다고
저한테 지금 전 있다고 봐요. 동네 안 먹어도 뭔가 있을 거예요.
저는 아이스크림이 50개 이상.
I'll be fine, wasting my mind on you. And now it don't seem real, but I think that's for the best.
잠시 치과 좀 들리겠습니다. 치과 촬영 가능. 딱딱한 거 먹으면 안 된다는데 그 뭐지 어제 아이스크림 그렇게 딱딱할 줄 몰랐어.
지인은 알약 여러 개를 한 번에 삼킬 수 있다.
이형입니다.
There's a sweet melody I try to ignore, and it sounds just like a knock on the door. I got too much time to waste.
형 구멍 짜.
여러 개가 아니야 형 2개까지밖에 안 돼. 나 오늘만 해도 4개 한꺼번에 잡혔어. 무슨 소리야.
거짓말하지 마.
4개 한꺼번에 잡혔다니까 뭘 거짓말하고.
There's a sweet melody I try to ignore, and it sounds just like a knock on the door. I got too much time to waste and not enough to do. What you got to lose? Got nothing left to prove. Will my love hit me up when I'm stuck in my head? Am I just out of luck? Flow me back to my bed. If only I didn't care, but that's not true. There's so many things that I wish I could say, but my voice just goes away. I don't know how you feel, and I don't know what you think, but I'll be fine wasting my mind on you. And now it don't seem real, but I think that's for the best. 'Cause I still get those butterflies, I do.
Why are you still in my dreams, cleaning my tears up? What does that mean? When you're not here, love, I lost my peace looking through our pictures. I can't believe that they said give it time, and that I tried, but I can't seem to hide my love for
Used to be try hard, and now I don't try.
Try hard, it fights my mind. Why do these feelings keep love alive? Way past his bedtime. Just give me a clue. Do you want to talk again?